See what happens. All right, we're live. Cool. So, hey, folks, this is Justin. I'm here with Kenny McCray, and episode 3 of the Business, Life, and Brotherhood is what we're calling it for at least these first 3. And so we're here in Magnolia this morning, and we're just going to kick it off. So, Kenny, why don't you tell us quick 30 seconds, 45 seconds, kind of college, alma mater, and then we'll jump right into business.
All right. Grew up in the north end there, Shoreline. So wanted to stay in Seattle. Got my 2-year degree. Transferred around. Ended up at Seattle University. Majored in business, concentrations in finance and marketing. Pledged AK Psi my 3rd quarter there.
Third quarter. So you already had a 2-year.
Yeah, I have
right.
a 2-year.
So you're in your junior year.
My junior year was the last quarter of my junior year. I transferred like winter, so I was pledging, but just kind of confusing. But
Yeah. Reach around for the coffee there. Okay, so then you did that. Did you do any when you got into AK Psi last year? Basically, is what you spent your time in. Did you have any like leadership roles in that, or were you kind of role, or how did that tease out for you?
So I was a pledge class vice president, and that I was doing that while I was working part-time for a commercial real estate broker.
Okay.
I was commuting from Shoreline. Was taking the full load that quarter. It was quite the quarter.
Nice.
And so after that, I kind of burned out, and then I was just like, I don't know. So I only had like I had 6 more quarters left after that because I added concentration. I had marketing, so I did 2 extra quarters. So yeah, I ended up like kind of just chilling back. But I was active on the finance committee, which is kind of it's pretty fun. I was kind of the number 2 guy on that.
Yeah, nice. So full time with the commercial real estate. Part-time, full-time school.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So then, did you have any other extracurriculars, or that really tie you up?
I mean, I was doing that, and also just, I've always been a golfer. I was trying to like still practice.
Okay.
In college, and then other than that, no. I mean, I had the standard college relationships. College girlfriend.
Yeah.
And AK Psi kept me busy with a lot of social events and also professional events, networking, and things like that. So I felt like I was always doing something.
So then after you graduated, jumping right into business, you had this relationship with a commercial broker. Did you keep that, or did you move on to something different?
I haven't talked to the guy too much, but I did just reach out to him like a year ago, and we had a short conversation. Yeah, he was a really nice guy. I mean, it was a really good opportunity for me because I was getting paid by the hour to do a job. You get paid by the commission, and so it was just a great opportunity for me to A, make some bucks while I was in college, and B, like get an idea of, hey, what's this industry like?
What's the scope of
how do you make money? How hard do you have to work? How often do deals fall through?
Yeah.
How do you build a network?
Right.
How do you take advantage of the network that you have? Things like that.
How'd you come across them? Like, how did you find that job in the first place?
Job posting. They posted on like our Seattle U career page. And so I was already doing an internship at the FDIC over in DC at the time, and that was kind of coming to an end. And when I was over there, I set up like 5 or 6 interviews for when I got back.
Okay, so
different like part-time jobs I could do.
So backpedal that. So you got your 2-year. You transferred.
Yeah.
You pledged AK Psi.
Yeah.
You got an internship at the FDIC.
Yeah.
And you were working for a commercial broker.
So I did the internship before AK Psi. Before I pledged. Before fall quarter.
Okay.
Then I came in and pledged. And then at the same time, I'd already got the commercial real estate gig. So I was doing that in college.
So, because a lot of people like don't realize how much work and how much effort and like all the different avenues and aspects of, well, I'm going to go do this, I'm going to taste that, I'm going to see this, I'm going to go look over here. You're doing a lot of things. Was there anything else that you were doing in that time period? I mean, we haven't even got out of college yet.
Okay, so like right before the internship, I was running my own landscaping company.
There we go. Okay.
And then I kind of gave that up so I could go take my, go do a real internship where, it would actually be more related to my major. And
it's one of the reasons I wanted to sit down with you was because you do things.
Yeah,
you do a lot of things, right? You're always moving, always hustling, and the more the folks that I talk to, there's always like these reoccurring themes. Right. There's always, I'm connecting with them. I went and tried this, I did that, and I had this thing on the side, and then happenstance, I fell into XYZ. So, so coming out of college, what was that transition like for did you have a couple other jobs between what you're doing now, or did you just get into?
So the way it worked is I did the internship in DC, pledged, and then did commercial real estate until about January. So I worked like 4 months, basically that whole quarter, and then a little bit into the next. It kind of, this was like 2011, 2012. Market was like pretty slow. My broker was really hardworking. He would take any lead, and he was a jack of all trades type of real estate broker. So anything that would come his way, he would follow that. And he had his own little portfolio too. So, but it got really slow at that time of the year. So he let me go. He's like, look, I'll still pay for you to get your real estate license, and like call me back like after you graduate, and like I can help you get started. This is what you want to do. And I was like, okay, thanks. But then the Seattle field office for where I work now called me up and asked if I wanted an internship that could possibly lead to a permanent job offer.
Okay.
And so I didn't even really have to interview.
They found you.
Yeah. Well, I reached out to them. Met with them, and then I didn't hear anything for a few months, and then they called me and they're like, hey, what are your summer plans? Like 2 weeks after.
So was it, when you reached out to them, was it like an online application, or was it like a legitimate, like, no, here's a recruiter and a phone call?
I emailed them before my internship ended. Okay. So I had the FDIC email so they knew I was already there. And then I met with them, and then like a few months, I didn't hear, and then January, February, right around the time I got laid off from doing commercial real estate. They're like, come work for us in the summer. I'm like, perfect. So I did that.
Okay.
I think I did some other job.
And who's that with?
FDIC.
No, I thought you had the internship with FDIC, and then this was a field office of the FDIC here. Yeah. Got it.
Yeah, which.
So it was like, hey, I already know your systems and processes because I'm part of this club, and then, but I want to come back home and be in Seattle.
I always wanted to kind of, I'd learned about the bank examiner role and position through the internship. I had no idea what a bank examiner is. What's that? What's risk management? I don't know. I have no idea. And so I was over there, and I was working on the corporate culture initiative. It was called Culture Change by and the chairman at the time, Sheila Bear, who is well respected. She was one of the best chairmen FDIC ever seen. She started this initiative to like help make employees happier or make them feel more satisfied with their jobs. And so there's a lot of things. The FDIC is an old government agency. There's a lot of like military roots, a lot of former military. So there's this chain of command that, in my opinion, is a little old school sometimes. And so that was one of the things that we're working on, and we're working on employee engagement. Well, while we're doing that, I'm looking at career development and all these other things. And so I find out about this this program that I went through. It's like a 4-year program to basically become a commissioned bank examiner.
Okay.
So I asked the person who's in charge of that while I was over there, like, hey, how do I get a job full time? You know, and she's like, well, you should consider being a bank examiner. Okay, like, what do I have to do? And she's like, well, go through this 1-year rotational program, then you choose your discipline, and then you do 3 years of on-the-job training, and you have to take a test at the end. And
sounds
and we paid the whole time. I'm like, okay. And so she gave me the email and the contact information to like get hooked up with the Seattle field office.
Okay.
They gave me an internship to basically do the job that I'm doing now. And then at the end of the summer, they gave me an offer. And so I went into my last 3 quarters of school basically with a written offer.
Yeah.
Stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, you got to like hunt and figure out who's doing what. So when you first came across that internship, was a posting that you saw, or how did you first get the internship with the FDIC?
That was like more of a interesting process, I guess. It was like I basically have a friend who worked in the government.
Okay.
Family friend. He was more like my older brother's schoolmate, and he just turned into a family friend. He was like, hey, there's this program for students. It's called Workforce Recruitment Program, WRP. And I qualified for it, and I took advantage. And it was a program basically that will place college students into a broad range of agencies. I actually got an offer to intern at the IRS down in Seattle.
Oh, wow.
On top of the FDIC offer. The FDIC offer I had to really stretch to get it too. Actually, that was kind of the start of it all. Like what happened is the guy that interviewed me in the program happened to work at the FDIC.
Okay.
He liked me a lot, so he was like, hey, what do you think about the FDIC? And I was like, isn't that the agency that insures deposits? Like, I see it all the time at the bank. Yeah. Like, we're in charge of like trying to prevent banks from failing too in the first place, because we don't have enough in our insurance fund to like really cover the entire industry. So we got to like prevent them from failing. I'm like, oh, okay. Or,
figure out systems, processes, and like, hey guys,
try to encourage, good risk management practices.
Yeah.
And we also have a consumer protection division. They call compliance. They have a resolutions division. So anyways, I already had a DC trip planned to visit my friend. Told me about the internship. Plus, I wanted to check out DC. It was like a dead quarter. I don't think I was taking classes at the time. I was waiting I hadn't even got into Seattle U yet.
Oh, wow.
So I was waiting because I had applied to the UW Business School in Seattle. And so went over there. I called up the guy ahead of time. I was like, hey, we'll be in DC. Do you think you can give me a tour? So I spent the day with him. He brought me to Arlington, Virginia, which is where which is basically our headquarters. Our official headquarters is 2 buildings down from the White House. So he brought me there for lunch. But the other place he brought me to in Arlington is kind of where I would be interning.
Mm-hmm.
And so he brought me there. We have a hotel attached to it. It's self-run.
Oh, wow.
So he brought me to one of the rooms, let me see like what I would be living in for the summer. I had a little kitchenette and stuff like that. He showed me around. He's like, okay, and we spent like 5-6 hours together. And then at the end, like, I'm going to try to find you a position here.
Yeah.
And so then he found me the culture change position, which kind of catapulted me through.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
And my old boss, the guy I worked for the whole summer, he's the associate director of HR for the agency. And like my friend that I was working with, or now he's my friend, there's another intern at the time. He was permanent, and now he's the assistant ombudsman the ombudsman's kind of like the internal, like official counselor. Anytime there's like conflict between employee and division or conflict between divisions, the ombudsman will kind of step in. They'll also do investigations sometimes. So,
internal.
Yeah.
See what's
he,
happening.
He works like the floor below the chairman, like
crazy
type stuff, and like sees and meets the
He was
chairman.
the intern that you interned with?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, he's gone far. Yeah, he's really cool though. He's one of my good friends I like to have around. You know,
Good guy.
the work.
So
Nice.
when you so you found this kind of originally through a family friend, kind of started this chain reaction.
Yeah.
And kind of everything that you've done, like running your own landscaping business, looking at commercial real estate, and then into this finance kind of risk management with the FDIC and that sort of stuff. It's all a lot of numbers related.
Yeah.
Were you always the kind of person who was like, I know that finance, accounting, that these kinds of things are going to be like, I'm gonna buckle down and be this? So tell me about like that, like
so how did I figure it out?
Internal conflict with yourself, or like how did that all tease out?
I mean, it kind of goes back to taking a chance when I was 18 and starting a landscaping company. I was out there, so I had a business partner. It was called T&K Landscaping. It stood for Tom and Kenny Landscaping. It was an LLC. It was legit. We were licensed.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And it was, gosh, like before I knew it, it's the height of summer. It's 2008. Recession hadn't really hit yet. It didn't really hit the Seattle area until like 2009.
Yeah, it came in the way.
That's when the Boeing employees started getting laid off. That's when things started getting hard for me. But yeah, 2008, 2009, I'm working 60, 70 hours a day, or a week. Sorry. And I'm taking classes at the community college part-time. And in the wintertime, I was delivering pizzas just to stay busy because it's seasonal here.
Right.
And so I ended up handling all the administrative stuff.
Yep.
You know, I'm the one who set up the LLC. I'm the one who I went and
you were
got
18.
Yeah, 18, 19. I had no idea. I had no concept of accrual accounting, debits and credits. You know, what's a T account? I had no idea how that all worked. So I went out and I got QuickBooks. I just did a quick Google search, accounting software, QuickBooks. I got QuickBooks, self-taught, handled all that. You know, that's how I figured out what an accounts receivable was, and that I wasn't very good at collecting customers. Yeah, so I handled all that, and then the partnership ended, and didn't end too great. My partner, it turns out, he kind of had some psychological issues. So it turns out he was bipolar.
Okay, that's kind of
didn't know about it, and
a lot of ups and downs.
Kind of just randomly left and like took some money with him, and then I was like at the Home Depot or wherever I was, maybe it was Dunn Lumber, I don't know, and I was buying materials for a job.
Yeah.
And all my cards got declined, and I turned out I was like negative $500 because I'd overdrafted like 6 times because I thought that I had money in there and didn't. So yeah, that part sucked, but I was able to get enough liquidity and keep going, and eventually I got out of it.
Yeah.
Ran the business for another few years after that. But
wow.
Anyways, it was through all that I figured out that I really enjoyed the business aspect of landscaping. I didn't actually like the landscape, you know, like as peaceful as it could be sometimes, just be mowing the lawn, and you know, my motto was "Your yard, our pride."
Yeah.
You know, I took pride in like after it was all said and done, after I put the last tool, you know, I'd look around and I'd see the yard and like, this is exactly how I want my yard to be, you know, and that's how I operated. I enjoyed that part, but I didn't enjoy pulling weeds.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy, you know, doing dump runs, shoveling dirt, you know,
That's work. It's it's
was
backbreaking labor.
Hard work. And so, but I did enjoy going and doing job bids.
Yep.
I enjoyed doing the accounting. I got audited by the Washington State liability L&I. I got audited by L&I, and they wanted all my accounting records because I did have payroll. I had employees working for me, and she was like, "Oh, your books are so clean, like because I had taken financial accounting, so I took what I had learned there along the way and started applying it.
Plus QuickBooks.
No findings. Let's put it that way.
That's awesome.
Yeah. The sales tax part that got me a few times because it's kind of a liquidity issue before I even understood what liquidity really meant.
A lot of GCs, a lot of independent contractors, a lot of guys out there. Like I've met folks, and that's the thing that gets them every time. Is like, oh wait, now we have this tax burden that we forgot about. You know, or we delayed paying so that we could do this thing. Yeah. And now we don't have the money to do it. You got to file for an extension or some other kind of whatever.
All the time, and so. Yeah, I kind of learned. I enjoyed learning from those kinds of challenges, and realized that I wanted to major in business. And so I did that. I had no idea of what I wanted to do with business. You know? I enjoyed accounting, so I took managerial accounting. Kind of towards the end of Edmonds, I enjoyed that a lot. I mean, I did really well. I didn't like financial accounting. I did that through UW. It was a summer course, and that's the one where they combine, like, where a community college would be like spread across 2 quarters. They condense it in one, and on top of that, summer quarter is like shorter. Yeah. On top of that, that class is graded by the curve. So I had a 91% in that class, and I got a 2.6.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And I was running, that was my busy season. So, and I was in a relationship with the gal. And
you're busy.
She was kind of sucking the life out of me a little bit. Glad that was done. But, yeah, it was a lot of work. So I was thinking accounting at first, and then I realized, no, I don't want to just do numbers all day.
Right.
My first quarter at CLU, I came in, I wanted to be business, econ, and information systems. Because I was thinking information systems where it's going to be at, right? Like, now it's 2011, like we're almost 2017 or 2016, where they like went ahead and Back to the Future, and so information systems. So I took information systems that first quarter, hated it. It's just too boring for me. I don't enjoy it. It's not. I like dealing with more, I don't know, physical assets. I like looking at real estate. I like real things. I also took finance that first quarter and had a really crappy partner. Not crappy, but like
in the class. Yeah,
and I ended up having to do a lot of the work. I think it's because maybe I just got it better. I don't know. But because I ended up doing the work, I fell in love with the work itself, and I realized, like this is really cool. Like looking at cash flow projections and looking forward and having to qualitatively think about what these numbers mean. So I decided to major in finance.
Okay.
I'd like to, and I saw that not only do you have to understand accounting, but you have to, understand things from a bigger picture. So I did that. My marketing teacher, my intro to marketing teacher, a few quarters later, convinced me to add marketing. He had me. He invited me to be in this class where we worked for REI for a quarter.
Oh wow!
They were working on a new product offering. They made us sign NDAs. So I can't say what it was, unfortunately. But we worked a whole quarter on this like new product offering. They ended up not going with, but it was because of our research they figured out it wasn't like good for their brand. It didn't really fit them, but it did fit their business model anyways. But so I did that for a whole quarter and decided to add marketing as the second major, and I had no plans of doing anything related to marketing after I graduated. Only that I knew that I was going to appreciate the kind of the more business acumen and this more well-rounded education, and it cost me like $10,000 extra to do it too.
Wow.
Seattle U's not
inexpensive.
It's not the cheapest school, and then like there's issues with financial aid when you add a major. Because like certain grants will only cover you up to a certain number of credits, so I had to pay for extra 25 credits basically out of pocket. So.
Wow. I was going to jump back before we jump forward, and I wanted to ask, with your upbringing and family and stuff, because everybody's a little bit different, but was your family the type of family that was like, hey, do really well in school, that's the direction that we go, or was your family more entrepreneurial? And then the second piece of that question is, were you balance your checkbook kind of people? Because I know some people are, and they preach that at home, or they're like, oh yeah, well we just run the debit card, and then at the end of the month, and we get paid again. So
when you bring that up, I actually realize how appreciative I am, or fortunate I am to have the parents that I have. I was like 4 or 5. So I actually grew up with my dad, but my dad, kept it close. So 5 miles away from my mom, and every weekend I was spending time with my mom. So my dad, he was a King County bus driver.
Okay.
And he just retired last year.
Nice.
He did over 30 years. Worked really hard. He'd be working overtime to get time and a half. And he made pretty good money.
30 years in King County.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good benefits. Paid vacation. It's not a bad job when you think of it. But he hated it. He'd come home. It'd be just me and him before he remarried. And he's like, I hate this job. People that I have to deal with every day. They just bring me down.
It's tough. Public work.
You're a public servant, and that's what this is. Public service. Like, thank your bus driver the next time you're on your bus, because that is not an easy job. Like,
not at all.
You think conceptually, like, what's so hard about driving a bus? Well, like,
I don't even like to drive my car in town.
First of all, there's you could like mess up and kill somebody. There's that. You could crash the bus. Then on top of that, you got to like worry about the people that are on there asking you all kinds of questions. One of his friends actually, like, I don't know if you were aware of the Seattle history, but there's a bus that crashed off the Aurora Bridge back in like the 90s.
Okay, sounds familiar.
That was one of my dad's good friends, actually, and I'd met the guy when I was growing up. And so, anyways, after that, I remember just this timeline of like my dad always not being in a good mood.
Yeah.
He'd always tell me like, you need to like don't do this.
Right.
Basically, was his conclusion. Do not do this. Right. And so, my mom, on the other hand, she kept the house, and she was running her own hair salon, and in the basement setup. It was legit. She had the same customers for 30 years, and she only really stopped because her customers started to die. Like, they just started aging, and they just natural causes and just getting old. So she also started her own house cleaning company.
Okay.
She never really expanded. She always just worked for herself. But the way the taxes work out, and the way you benefit from basically running your own business out of your home. She was able to cover the mortgage, make the property tax payments, and live simply. Yeah. And she's always able to make it on her own, which I really, it's always been.
Amazing.
Yeah, and my mom comes from Japan. She moved here when she was 23 or 22. And, like, she's not the strong. She's very fluent. Like, you can have a conversation with her. Most of the time, you can't hear her accent, but she doesn't have the English literacy down as well as far as like writing.
Sure.
Because this is her second language. And yeah, I've always been pretty admirable of my mom, being able to like do all that. So
you've got your dad who's corporate, county, you know, kind of like in the trenches of that, and then a mom who's super entrepreneurial.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then my dad, I think, a big part of that growing up, he'd always have me out working on the yard.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I knew how to be a landscaper.
Right.
He'd be like, those lines aren't straight on the grass, you know, you gotta do it again. Or like, I like pull all these weeds like up and down this driveway.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a long driveway.
Yeah.
And there's like, you know, oh, trim these hedges. There's laurels. He had laurels going all the way up his driveway. And I'm gonna say, golf. I'm gonna say it's about 50 yards long.
Okay.
It's it's not short. And
like big laurel hedges.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I just want to go play with my friends. So I figured out, you know, I'd get my friends to come over. My dad would offer me like a small sum of money, right? But I just wanted to play with them, you know. So I'd be like, hey, I'll give you some of this money that my dad offered me. Or sometimes I'd be like, hey, Dad, do you think I can get a helper and like, can we pay him? You know, it'll be a lot easier for me, and like, I'll make sure it gets done right. Yeah, sure, okay.
Yeah.
You know, so I do that, and I get it done in half the time, and then I get to like go ride my bike,
go do stuff,
or go over to Yost Park, and go swim, you know, do whatever else. So yeah, it was that, but it was him making me work hard,
right?
That kind of gave me that work ethic,
100%,
and also just made me more sure of myself, and that I knew how to get things done.
Right. And taking those leadership role early on with the like, hey, I'm going to have my friend come over. I'm going to make sure they do a good job, and I'm going to do a good job, and I take the responsibility. And that, I mean, that's what it is, right? You take the responsibility, then you're in control, right? And so that's awesome.
Then he suggested that I get a paper route. So I got a paper route, Edmonds Enterprise in 6th grade. Did that for a few years, saved up about my first desktop, which ended up being the desktop that I used for my landscaping company. It's kind of cool. It kind of worked out. But it was a lot of work. And the paper route thing taught me early on, like, doing a job over and over again that you really can't. Like, I hated it. I come home from school. It's like I got this big stack of papers that I have to like fold and put rubber bands on, and I put in this giant bag and ride around. And then like once a month I have to like go around and ask for tips, you know, because that's what we're paid. We're paid tips.
Yeah,
I make like, I don't know, make like $110 a month, you know, which wasn't bad at 6th grade, but
it's more about the experience, and the money, you know, and it's unfortunate you don't see, you don't see a lot of folks or hear about a lot of folks that are willing to put in the work, for free, or for, you know, for the experience. It's always like, well, hey, no, I want to get paid. Then you have no experience, so you top out right away. Yeah, like there's nowhere to go from there. So we're with your mom running her own business. Does she handle her own books and everything?
Yeah, in general, she does everything with paper still.
Yeah. Okay.
Still, like I tried to transition her to QuickBooks. I tried to show it to her, and she just doesn't.
Yeah.
She has her CPA that she's gone to for 20 plus years, and he's always just done her books. And always done a really good job of, you know, keeping her taxes very low. Yeah. And
why you pay a CPA to look after you and make sure you're doing all the right things.
She got audited early on, and I think that scared her. So she's always just kept the receipts that she needed to keep and bring it all to the accountant at the end of the year. I've offered several times. I'm like, yo, do you want me to jump in? You know, I kind of do this for, I mean, I look at financials all day, you know, like, but she's a little bit stuck a little bit sometimes. Like, it's hard to.
But she sounds like she's a fiercely independent person.
Yeah,
like, you know, and that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, she's just kind of learned to not depend on other people sometimes, and I think she's a little bit wary of letting others like in on her main source of income. But
that makes sense.
That'll be a future project. I'm trying to get her to expand a little bit so she can hire someone to work for her. She's getting older now.
Sure.
So, you know, mom,
can't do everything all the time.
Yeah, you know, and what happens if you get sick or get in a car accident and you can't work for a month? You know,
Yeah.
are you going to keep all your clients going to stay? You know, you need backup.
Right.
You know, it's just contingency planning. It's just, you know, it's a basic risk management practice I think more people need to consider.
Yeah, 100%.
Plus, I'm like, do you really?
That's the hardest thing with like entrepreneurs, though, right?
Yeah.
Is everybody thinks that they do it best, or it's going to take them longer to train somebody than it is for them to do it themselves.
Exactly.
Right? But if you could find somebody who could do it 70% as well as you,
Right.
then you could focus on other things and still have the job done well.
Exactly.
Right? Just hard.
Yeah, Rich, you know, like I haven't read it, but I've read the highlights, like Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah.
You know, the idea of your time. Do
Right.
you spend your time out there doing yards, or do you spend the time like trying to get someone hiring people and spending your time doing job bids?
Right.
You know, giving yourself the opportunity to expand and grow.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
a lot of people hold themselves back, and it just kind of takes. You got to take that leap. You know,
Right.
you gotta. It's uncomfortable. There's a possibility of failure. There's a possibility of losing money. But you have to take that chance. If you don't, it's just you're doomed to, you know. And if you want to
you'll
be small,
stuck.
if
You'll
you
be
want
stuck
to,
just as a self-employed person versus a business owner.
Yeah, like if I was still landscaping today, or if I was to open my landscaping business tomorrow, you know, like I most definitely, maybe the very beginning would be maybe mowing lawns just to get it started. But after that, you know, if I had enough capital to get me started, I'd definitely hire a crew and just make sure that the crew is doing their job.
Keep them busy. Keep meeting people. Keep getting new business, new income, new. Maintain your client base, and then just keep going out there. And that's building it for sure. So from that, and then through what you did in college and stuff, let's talk a little bit about like kind of what it is that you're doing now, and like what you're tasting now, what you're trying now, what feelers you have out now to kind of project on where it is you're trying to go.
So
does that make sense?
Yeah. So when I took the job, I had a mentor through college. He's now the chief operating officer of the Federal Reserve in San Francisco.
Awesome.
But at the time, he was running the Seattle branch of the Federal Reserve.
Okay.
So, really awesome guy. I was able to kind of pick his brain because he'd worked in basically public service his whole career. Came back and got his master's through Seattle U, which is why he's affiliated with Seattle U. And I got to go and meet him. I got to see the branch. I got to sit in on like some Federal Reserve meetings. I got to sit on like a board meeting where they talk about like the economy. And they excused me out of the room when it came time to talk about the interest rates, which of course. But through that, he set me up with the regional president of Wells Fargo.
Okay.
And he'd been in the Pacific Northwest for a long time. Got a meeting with him, and between that meeting and then along with the meeting with the Federal Reserve Bank examiners, kind of got to pick their brains. And I asked them, okay, what are the benefits, like, for me, do you think, of like taking this job? You know, do you think it's a good career move? They all unilaterally told me, take this job. It's a great stepping stone. It's a great place to work if you decide to stay there. You know, and so I took their advice. You know, I met with all of them and told myself after 5 years I was going to take a step back, reassess, see if this is really where I want to stay. And so I've always thought of the FDIC as a great stepping stone that I could stay at. You know, and I've always operated under the assumption, I always work there as if I'm going to stay there forever. You know, like I want my relationships at work to be good. I want everything I want people to like me. You know what I mean? I don't want to just be that guy that you can tell is going to leave after 5 years. So, And so I haven't quite made up my mind if I'm going to stay or leave. And I have trying to plan a 6-month sabbatical.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, at the end of November of next year.
Okay.
So I've been saving up my leave, and I'm going to use all of it at once.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to try to, and I'll get the holidays in there. Anyway, so that's I can talk more about that trip later, but but my job has been it has been a great teaching experience or learning experience, I should say. I mean, I learned about consumer protection. I learned about how resolutions work. Most importantly, I learned how a bank operates.
Right.
I know the in and outs of the big financial statements. I know the in and outs of basic risk management practices. I know the in and outs of lending.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite part is I get to look at loans.
Yeah.
I get to look at loan files, and I get to look at local loan files.
Yeah, it's super interesting because you're pumped, right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh man, I get to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
And other people on the other end would be like, man, really loans? That's exciting. It's so different for other people. But I'm one of those people too. Like, oh, how does that work? What is that all about? What does that mean? So,
well, it's like I'll be driving by and it's like, oh, I looked at the loan for that building right there. You know, oh, that bar that you like to go to in Ballard. Like, I've looked at the guy's financials and I've looked at how much interest they're paying and I've looked at the value of their commercial real estate. I know things. I know who the good developers are. I know who the good brokers are. I know who the good bankers are.
Right.
So I kind of get this insight into the business community in Puget Sound. On top of that, I can hit the ground running in a lot of different fields because I have to understand how to understand cash flow.
Yeah.
I have to understand how to create business value.
Right.
On top of that, I have to be able to spot, risk management weaknesses.
Yeah.
So
100%. And you're the kind of guy, from your past experience building a business, you're not afraid to shake hands and say hello, right?
Exactly.
So it's like, hey, this, and you have something that you can tangibly talk about and connect with people.
Anytime I see an opportunity to relate to somebody at work, I always do. I take it. I see a photo of them golfing. Hey man, where do you like to golf?
Yeah.
I'm a big golfer. I'm 5 handicap. And I'm out there hustling every day trying to get to scratch. And anyways, this one bank I was at, the chief credit officer, he chairs the red tie event for Seattle U every year. He's an alumni. It turns out so we already had that connection. Yep. That actually made the job that I had to do with him a lot easier because I was in charge of leading the loan review.
Right.
At this particular exam, we trade off leadership positions all the time, and so I was leading a team of 5 or 6 loan reviewers, and so he was my main contact because he's kind of the gatekeeper of lending there.
Okay.
Basically, he approves the bigger loans and makes sure the right people are in place to make sure the smaller loans are good. And
right.
So worked a lot with him. And anyways, it can get contentious sometimes at work. And so anytime you can have a commonality or have a conversation about stuff outside of just what we're here doing, makes the job a lot easier and it helps you get things done a lot quicker. And then he's volunteering information with me, he's working with me.
Right.
He sees that I'm not there to screw him over. I'm really just there to, make them better.
Right.
Really, that's my goal.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because if they're healthy, making smart choices, then everybody's winning. Right?
Exactly. So, I want these banks to do well.
Right.
And I want them to know that off the bat.
Yeah.
Because I live here. This is my community.
Right.
And I'm a proponent of the smaller banks.
Yeah.
I'm not.
100%. Yeah. That makes sense. So, one of the things that you touched on that I always try to bring up in this arena is building those relationships and connecting with people and having all those commonalities.
Yeah.
Because that's how you it's more often than not you hear about a position because of a friend or a family member. you know, you make a connection. Oh, you should look into X, Y, and Z, right? You should talk to so and so because they do this thing that you're interested in,
right?
And so that's one of the I think it comes from sharing experiences, and then somebody's going to hear something from this and be like, oh, Kenny's a wicked good golfer. Like, I should look him up and see if I can, let's see if we can make a game happen. Let's see if we can put a match together or something. So, with what you do at the FDIC, I know you have other things that you look at and work on. Like, do you have any pet projects or anything? If somebody was going to be like, reach out or connect or what else? Because you do so much.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that you haven't stopped doing so much since you were, all the way up through college, right? So
I have to I've learned how to turn things down now, or learned how to be like, you don't have time for that, man. I have ADD, so one of the traits to that is you start a lot of projects and sometimes you don't finish them.
Sure.
A lot of times you don't finish them.
Yeah.
But the stuff that I'm doing now, I started my own LLC. I'm doing consulting, business consulting. I haven't really done any actual business consulting, but I'm also doing consulting for real estate.
Okay.
And so I have a friend, my former business partner from the LLC, my landscaping days. He came back and we reconciled. He actually worked for me for 2 months for free to pay off what he took.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he totally made it up. Yeah. He made it up to me. He explained to me what had happened to him, and as his friend and current roommate at the time, I was like, okay, I'm glad that we can be friends again. I'm glad that you made this right. And so he came into some money through an accident at work, and I was worried about him kind of because I know how he is with money.
Lottery dilemma, right? People win the lottery and then it's gone and they're in worse shape than they were when they...
Put it this way, he graduated high school, the GPA in the twos, maybe. Yeah, in the twos, I'm sure. Never did his homework.
Yeah.
But, passed every test. And that's kind of how he's always gone by. So, translate that into, adulthood. What's that mean? Hey, man, I think you should put your money in real estate.
Yeah.
Get some passive income, get some cash
hide it
flow
from yourself, and then get some income.
I want you to put it in the stock market and bonds, but I also want you to get your own real estate portfolio going. His dad is a retired contractor. He's actually going to come out of retirement to be our partner now. But we have that. You were a landscaper. You understand the property. He's one of the smartest guys I know. Yeah. And I'm like, look, let's just buy an apartment. Let's buy an apartment. Kind of a bad time to be buying an apartment right now with the just where the capitalization rates are and everything. Yeah.
It's hard on a lot of people because if you interpret the cap rate as being something that's critical to you versus cash flow is cash flow.
Right, but
100%.
We're worried, just because cap rates tend to follow interest rates, and as interest rates rise, cap rates can rise, and when cap rates rise, your value goes down, and we're also just wary coming out of this last recession. I think everyone's a little bit cautious now. Yeah. Was this gonna happen again? And I think that's just basic human nature to kind of expect things to repeat themselves.
Yeah, it's like if you slam your toe or you slam your hand in the door for all the while, you're going to worry about that happening again. So fear response.
Anyway, so I've done more hours than I can count helping them out on the side after work and stuff. And, we looked at probably 10 or 15 properties and ran the numbers for 6 or 7 of them.
Yeah.
After having given letters of intent, and turned down most of them. Pretty much all of them, but the one that we bought.
Right.
And
I'm surprised that's 15 places and you found one. That's a really good.
Well, I mean, it was a journey. It took almost a full year to buy something, and we were really patient with it, just because it was.
You have to be.
yeah, I mean, it's a lot, you know, putting down $500,000 on a piece of property, you know, and like to most people, $500,000, like to some people, $500,000 is no big deal. Like
Right.
to the accomplished real estate practitioner,
Yeah.
it does for a living, $500,000, but $500,000, you know, it's
Yeah.
like a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and
It's real money.
I want to make sure that this is a good investment for you, you know. So I built out my own cash flow models, and you know, it's able to kind of customize it for, you know, the different parties that we have at play, you know, with our entities. And so I was doing that in a consulting role. I actually just transitioned to being the general manager for his like a sixplex down in Tacoma.
Yep.
And I've gone, like, I went and hired a new property manager. This one that we had to quite work out.
Yeah, it's tough to find good management.
And so I'm actually meeting them today, going down there to make sure things are going better. But yeah, things weren't running very smoothly. It didn't really pan. It wasn't going the way we've owned it for over a year. And
that's the thing about like passive income. You
gotta do
it's a lot of work. Yeah,
it's
a lot of work to have passive income.
Yeah, and the big part of it is to have the right people in place.
Yep.
Have the right team in place to make it easier for you.
Yeah.
You know? And so I'm like, look, it's not going well. Your vacancy rate's way too high. You're too slow to turn your units over. You know, the existing property manager is a complete meltdown. Like, he fired him, they fired us. It was like,
wow.
Yeah, like I'm still trying to get the books from them because, yeah, hopefully, really hoping my new property manager is going to come through and get me the profit and loss statement that I need.
Yeah.
So I got to file his taxes too, you know, or I could need to at least make sure that the financials are ready to go for the taxes.
So is that with your job, you're starting that consultor firm, the consulting. Is this also, and then you have, is this a separate entity from the consulting? This is a real estate company, or is it the same company?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's the same LLC.
Okay.
And so, I'm gonna basically, I'm just kind of getting paid more on I think I'm gonna try to get paid on a percentage basis. We haven't quite worked it out yet, just because like it was kind of an emergency situation where the old property manager was straight up like, do not contact our office type thing, you know, like do not talk to my staff, have someone else do it. So I was like, okay, well, like I'm gonna hire me as your general manager, like, I'm trying to figure out the best way to get paid because I also have to wrestle with.
Sounds like business.
I have to wrestle with, you know, I'm working for one of my best friends, you know, and at the end of the day, like what I care most about is like making sure that he's taken care of and that he has a good investment. You know, I don't want to charge him absorbent fees or large fees, you know, for doing work that I think, I mean, honestly, if it was anyone else, I'd want 10%, you know, for being your business manager and like helping you out and making things smooth, you know. I'm not asking for that, you know. I want him to like have good cash flow. I mean, I already have plenty of good personal cash flow. I don't need his money, but at the same time,
you're providing the service and you're doing the work and everything else.
I want to be compensated for my time because it takes away from my ability to do other things.
100%. No, it makes sense. And then too, with this kind of being a new venture, you're going to prove yourself here and then take on new clients.
Exactly.
So outside of outside of that, is there anything else that you've got, you know, another iron in the fire, as it were, or like do you have other stuff that you're?
So I'm also like I was serving on the executive board of the Seattle Alumni Chapter, as you know, for AKSI, but I let that one go.
The whole thing kind of just.
I really tried to like get certain people to take on the president role, and I said, look, I can help out, I can be the second-hand man, but I just don't have the resources to be able to like, take it on myself, because it takes somebody with vision and time and has strong work ethic that's willing to put in the time
100%.
and that's good at building relationships with people.
Yeah.
I know I could do it. I just don't have the time resources to do that. But I'm ready to help out whoever wants to. So
100%.
I haven't heard back from anyone in a while. So I was doing that. I'm also on the Young Alumni Board at Seattle University. So, you know, we're the most active alumni chapter for the university. And I, go to the board meeting once a month, and we're just trying to plan events and try to figure out ways to foster more young alumni engagement.
Yeah.
Because I think it's important for the school to have, engaged alumni. And it's important. I think it's good to start people off young, like engaged alumni now means better donations later, means maybe a better basketball program, means better school name notoriety, like.
That's the thing, like and it's kind of like when people are generous with their time and generous with their resources and always willing to help out, those things typically don't change as somebody gets more success or less success or wherever they end up in their life. A generous person is always a generous person. So if you can foster those good relationships and kind of those forums where people can be a part of something bigger than themselves, those things typically tend to continue and grow and have those people stick around for the long term.
Exactly. And the relationships I've been able to build, and I got invited to go wine tasting with the president of the school. I didn't get to go because I was out of town for work, but
you're hustling, you're doing a lot of things.
My work sends me all over the place. I'm already at 90 nights.
Wow.
Just at Hilton Properties this year. So it's been quite a heavy travel year. I'm putting in 25 hours a week towards working on playing competitive golf again.
Yeah.
So, it's a grind every day.
Yeah, 100%.
Every day I'm trying to get up early, trying to get a workout in. Now I'm trying to do mindfulness.
Nice.
I'm trying to meditate and kind of get more comfortable with my thoughts, because out on the golf course,
it gets loud.
Your thoughts can get in the way very fast.
Yeah.
And so learning how to control your thoughts. Anyways, doing that, trying to practice every day. It's like managing my time it's a challenge sometimes.
Yeah. No, but it's awesome. That's kind of a reoccurring theme that I see with folks that are chasing something, that are doing big work. And so, like, where do you see, like, do you have any, like, huge goals? Like, you've already helped and worked in apartment buildings and stuff. Do you think, like,
long term?
Yeah, like,
long term, I want to have my own real estate portfolio enough to where I could live comfortably off of
cash flow.
Yeah, without having to go to a 9 to 5 by the time I'm like 45.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm 28 now.
Yeah.
And I've got 17 years
easy
to build it on my own. It's gonna take time. It takes patience.
I was just talking to Eric Heichel, who's another alumni, and you brought up the quote. I can't remember who's it attributed to, but like, it takes 10 years to be an overnight success, right?
Yeah.
Like, you have to work your face
all
off.
out of work
all the time.
Exactly. Yeah, no. Through all the stuff I've learned about business, and I love the art of business. I can get in there. I can talk business to any topic with anybody. I can talk to a CPA about accounting. I can talk to a marketing guy about developing new products. I can talk about sales management. I can talk about product development. I love those things. But real estate, I feel like there's an art to it, but I see it as just simpler.
Yeah.
It's simpler, and not everyone that's successful is very smart. Like, it just takes people with guts, and sometimes a little bit of luck.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's having the right people around you.
Always. Yeah.
And so I think I could be successful in it. And I just love the idea of having passive income. I love the idea of being able to, go take a trip for a month and making sure you got the right people in place to, like, make sure they can put out a fire for you when you're gone. And Yeah, I'd like to do that. I'd like
And if
to,
you do it that way, because this is a lot of people's fear, right?
Yeah.
They don't want to be a landlord,
right,
because landlord means somebody's going to call me at 2 a.m.
right.
and their toilet's going to be flooding.
Sure.
Right? Something like
You
that.
have
But
to
that's not the same story that you just told. What you said was, I'm going to have the right people in place.
Yeah,
Right? They're going to handle everything.
exactly.
And I'm going to be in Tahiti, or I'm going to be in Europe.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
I'm willing to sacrifice some of the cash flow to make sure that, you know, I have a good property manager that can handle things for me. Or
right. Would you rather have 100% of nothing?
Yeah.
Or 70% of something?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so, you know, plus like, those things are going to happen. I know.
Yeah.
Based on working with my business partner the last year, things happen all the time. You know, people get evicted, cops kick in doors, you know, things like that happen, and you have to accept it. But
water heaters, boilers, furnaces.
What I believe, and I think a big part of being successful is having belief. I believe if you do it right, if you can put the right pieces in place, if you can do the work up front, think ahead for the future, real estate can be the way to go.
100%.
You know, if you don't plan properly, if you don't have a vision, if you're focused on the short-term cash flow, if you're focused on, you know, what you need now versus what you need tomorrow, you know, you can get in trouble. You know?
Right.
Let your property go, deferred maintenance.
Yep.
You know,
kill you every time.
You hire a cheaper property manager that takes a lower fee.
Yeah.
How's that going to work out for you? You know.
You know, one of my favorite, like, I always hear it in the back of my head because the conversation comes up, and it's like, well, hey, look, if you think hiring a professional is expensive, wait till you hire an amateur.
Yeah.
Because over the long haul, you're going to lose.
Or hire no one and do it yourself and see
how thin your spread.
Yeah, but like, you know, sure, you'll make more money, but you know, what's the cost?
How many times do you want to get called and go fix the toilet?
What's the cost? What's your quality of life right now? So no, my first plan, I'm gonna try to get a bridge loan to buy some property up in Bellingham.
Oh, sweet.
Getting really tired of the traffic around here in Seattle. It's outrageous. Can't get a whole lot of house, but the money that I put away, you know, I've got about $30,000 to put down on property. So I'm going to try to get a house, you know, maybe through a foreclosure auction. My business partner's willing to go in on it with me, and we have business agreements already between our LLCs. So like anytime I default or he defaults to me, like I can collect.
Right.
So that part, from his standpoint, he feels collateral, or he feels protected. Plus, he trusts me.
Right.
So I'm going to try to get a bridge loan through him, and then refinance it through a bank, and then rent the whole thing out. Maybe keep. My goal would be to find like a mother-in-law or something like that, but definitely want to like try to seek out the foreclosure market.
Yeah.
And then what I'm going to do is buy a sailboat, mortgage down in Fisherman's Terminal. Hopefully.
Nice.
I looked it up. It's like less than $400 a month.
Really?
Keep a place down here in Seattle because my office is here. Sometimes I have to be in Seattle. Sometimes I have to work in the South End. So that's step one from my own personal portfolio. I mean, granted, I'm going to have a partner in it, but it'll be mine.
Goes back to the 100% of nothing, or 50% of something.
Exactly.
70%
So
of something.
it'll be my start. Plus, I already have a small percentage of the cash flow of the existing property. So
no, it's awesome.
Yeah,
that's building it. That's being smart and getting out there and doing it.
It's scary though. I'm trying to get it set up before I take the sabbatical. Yeah.
Who cares? You could lose it all and start over from scratch. And everything that you know right now, you would be light years ahead of so many people, right? I mean, that's the thing that people don't realize is you can draw a line in the sand. Yeah. And start over. It's different. Like, you got kids, you got to feed and this sort of thing and all that sort of stuff. But even then, there's power in doing, and if something gets sideways on you, being nimble and being able to pivot and all that stuff. So I love all that. Is there so one of the things that I want to we'll touch on that. But like with all your irons in the fire and all the different things you're trying to build and obviously getting back into training up professional golf and getting yourself going. Is there other stuff that you're like? There's a couple other questions that I wanted to like. Other things that you're engaged in outside of the hustle, or is it all just hustle? Is it? Well, it's a valid question. There's a lot of people who are going out and doing a lot of different things, and then there's other folks that are like, no, all I focus on are these things because I'm passionate about it.
No, other than that, I'm just trying to enjoy life the most I can each day, day by day. You know, through all this, maintaining friendships is a project in itself. I kind of have to keep a mental checklist of like what friends have I not seen in a while because I've been on the road for 2 months. You know, I've been this year in particular. I mean, it's July. I've been on the road pretty much every week since March. Are there other like friends obviously, but other brothers and stuff and other people that you've stayed in contact with? Yeah, I try to keep in contact with you know, especially people from the AK side. You know, I've just crossed the year mark with the current gal I'm dating now, so that takes up some of my time. I actually met her through Alpha Kappa Psi, so that was awesome.
There you go. It's so funny that happens.
Yeah,
everybody.
I think she's sitting right over there. Anyways, and so there's that. You know, making sure I spend time with my parents. You know, just don't want to take for granted the time I have left with them.
I think that people don't realize the intent, right? You intend on doing a good job in your job. You intend on doing a good job, and you keep after it on the company that you built, and you have a vision and goals that you intend on meeting those goals, and so it takes up all that time and energy, and then you have relationships that if you're not intentional about them, you lose them, and so it's always important, I think, to touch on those things because people are going to hear this and they're going to be like, man, he's doing so many things, but you're intentional about it. Right. And that's super important.
Yeah. So, it takes a lot of work to.
So do you spend a lot of time, like there's a couple of, I've done a few of these interviews and I'm excited to do more and connect with more people and find these reoccurring themes. Yeah. It's evident after 3 interviews. Like we're going to keep going and keep doing it. But one of the things that I thought of that I hadn't asked the other folks is like apps or programs that you use in your day-to-day finance life and other thing, and then other like podcasts that you're into. Like I find myself in a car lot, so I listen to a lot of podcasts. I'm always traveling to different appointments to meet people and stuff, so I'm always podcast and do that. Is there for you like do you
stuff that I use?
What have you come across lately that's been like, oh my gosh, this has been gets you pumped up? Like I'm always getting pumped like I'm talking to people.
I feel you. There's some apps that I definitely try to use daily. Well, in theory, I use MyFitnessPal every day, and I track how much I eat and how much I'm exercising. I was really good at doing that for a while, but then it fell off. I need to start doing it again, just because simply the act of writing down or tracking what you're doing day by day changes your behavior.
100%.
And when I'm on the road, I get food money every day, and I'm not worried about how much food costs. I can go to any restaurant I want and still be in the black, you know, and so
your health deficit. Like,
I put on 15 pounds the first year traveling, and so I realized, I'm like, oh man, I'm getting a little bit bigger, and like I need to take care of this, you know. So I went through Insanity, and I started tracking every day, and I started watching my diet, and I try to maintain that healthier lifestyle. What else do I use? I have a lot of golf apps, but that's it. Let's see.
What about like finance stuff? Have you ever?
I use Mint.
Mint, okay.
I use Mint just to keep track of all my accounts and kind of know where I'm at. I don't do the manual check register thing. I mean, it's 2017. I use my card for everything, though. I try not to use cash. That way I can track my expenses.
Are you a budget guy? feel like, hey, I'm going to allocate.
In theory, you know, you think I would be, but I'm really not. Like, I just
let's say people who have budgets have no fun. So that, you know, I mean, like,
yeah, that's my problem. I probably have the most discretionary income of my life right now with not being married and not having kids. I pretty much spend it all on golf and having time, like spend it on golf and going out with friends and like, having a good time. So, but I do put away money for my retirement. I do put away money for a house.
Well, you seem like you would be a pay yourself first kind of person. Like, tuck that money away. I know I want to save that. So that goes to savings. Exactly. That goes to this plan. That goes to this. And then here's this. I can go, you know, work on things that I'm passionate about. That's the thing, like with budgets and stuff, like, because we look at our finances, I look at mine all the time, and I'm like, okay, well, I actually value, you know, hiking, and I value doing some, so like, it's okay for me to spend money there. I don't feel like I've wasted money there, right? Because I value it. The same thing with like for you for golf. It's like a big part of your life, right? So it makes sense. I don't really value that. It doesn't really do anything good for my health, so I don't go there, you know? What about like, are you flipping through your apps?
Yeah, I'm just trying to like remember because I have so many apps on here that it's like I'm on page 7. Like I'm not one of those people that's like organize them in those little folders. Like I've tried to. Like, but no, I pretty much have to use the search function every time. I just downloaded these 2 apps called, one's called Headspace and the other's called Beautify. It's just kind of guides you through daily meditation.
Have you heard of Ombana?
I think so, but I wanted to just try 2. Get 3. I got a little magazine. I kind of read about each one. That was one of the ones. So yeah, I've been doing that. I'm on day 5 now. So
nice.
But one of them I use in the morning. The other I use Beautify. I use when I'm at work. And I've done it a few times now where I just say like I'm taking a work break. I'll just sit there. We all work in the same room, so you just kind of breathe and take in your breaths, and then I have headphones on, just walks you through. You know, okay, like watch your thoughts, like you're on a couch watching your thoughts. Okay, I'm thinking, what are my coworkers thinking about me right now? Because I'm sitting here closing my eyes. They're all looking at me. Are they looking at me? No. But even then, I'm like able to. That taught me that I'm really self-conscious. You know, I'm really worried about what people think of me at work sometimes. Probably because I work in a room full of bank examiners. But
it's very close proximity to each other. What about podcasts? You doing podcasts at all?
I try to, but the only issue is I don't have much time.
You don't commute much. You're pretty much.
I do commute, but when I am commuting, I listen to Amazon Kindle or Kindle app. I have books on tape. So I listen to and I re-listen to all the time Zen golf. And Zen golf really taught me about what Zen really is all about. I had this like weird idea. It totally wasn't even close to. You know, I was just like, oh, they're Buddhists, like that. Whatever that's you know, we don't do that, you know. I'm a Christian, you know? It's like but I really opened it up for me and made me realize it's like, wow, you don't have to be a Buddhist to enjoy mindfulness and enjoy like understanding how to be at peace with yourself, you know? And so I listen to that all the time. This guy wrote this book for the purpose of making better golfers, but golf is very it's probably one of the best sports to play if you want to apply Zen or apply the art of Zen, because the saying goes like you don't play golf to relax, you relax to play golf.
That makes sense.
And so the more you can relax, the more you can be in control of your thoughts, the more you can be in the zone, play with confidence, the more you can like have a vision for yourself and execute that vision. You know? Because it's not a reactive sport. You know,
it's not all zone.
It's not tennis, you know, it's not basketball where you have an opponent, the ball's coming at you. You just, as long as you practice the form, you execute the form every time. You know?
Right.
You don't really think about where you want to put the ball. Like, sure,
That's
like,
super interesting.
but with golf, the ball's sitting there. Okay, it's just waiting for you to hit it. So you have all time in the world to plan your attack. Choose the right club, take a couple practice swings, make sure your alignment's straight.
Yeah.
You know, pick your target. But during all that time, you have time to think about, why did I hit this horrible shot? Why do I play this game? Like, why do I play golf? Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh man, God, you could do so much better. You have a lot of time to think about that stuff too. And, or like, oh, I got to make this putt so I can get like my second birdie in a row, or, oh, this would be my third birdie in a row, or, oh, I need to make this putt so I can break par today, or, you know what I mean? Like,
psych yourself up, psych yourself out.
When you think about the wrong things versus not focusing on the process, you know, you can get yourself into trouble. It's like, I've learned that, and I've been trying to apply that to my career too. It's just like, focus on your process.
Yeah.
Don't focus on necessarily the result. Let the result take care of itself by having a good process.
Yeah.
You know, that's where you need to put your energy. So Zen Golf taught me that. So I listened to that over and over and over again.
Yeah. That's a book.
Yeah, it's a book, and he narrated it.
Yep.
I also read it, but for the most part, I just have it playing.
Yeah.
You know, while I'm.
Audio is so powerful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's especially like with redactive learning, right? You got to hear stuff 19 times before it really starts to set in. So that means if you listen to an audio book, or if you're looking to do something like that, you really have to have that repetitive, you know, and not be, well, be okay with it, right? Be okay with, hey, I'm going to do it again and again and again. And then if you're stoked on it, if you're excited about it, then you're like, yeah, we'll listen to that again and again and again.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Is there anything like, because this has been like, I get all, I'm all excited, like, like conquer the day with all the different things that we talked about. Like, I've never thought of golf that way, so like I'll have to like revisit. So I'm basically just a butcher out there.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I do.
Most people are.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like I went and played pitch and putt the other day.
Green Lake.
Yeah,
and super fun. That's the first course I ever played. Yeah.
Well, but I don't know what I do, but I don't like. I will just line drive it every time, just a butcher.
Yeah,
I mean,
golf is one of those things where you truly need someone to help you.
To walk you through.
It's worth paying a professional.
Yeah.
You know, because the amount of enjoyment that you will have when you are fully compressing the golf ball and like it's going where you want it to go, like that is, there's nothing else like
rewarding.
it. You know, when you hit the shot that you see in your mind, and it's like 2 feet from the cup, and you make the putt, and there's, you know what I mean? Like you live for that. I live for that. Then there's times that, you know, you're not always gonna hit the shot that you wanted,
right?
But because you've practiced so hard, because you've spent the time with getting good instruction, because you've been in the right mindset, maybe your miss wasn't that bad. Maybe you're 20 feet, 30 feet. Maybe you're just off the green. Maybe you're in the sand trap. But you're missing small, and that's the difference between the amateur and the professional. The professional has better misses. Like Ben, I think it was Ben Hogan said, like, I only hit the shot that I was trying to hit, like, you know, I think like 10% or 5% of the time. He would hit like 3, maybe 4 shots around that he was just like, that was the shot I was trying to hit. You know, an average round, you'd shoot, you know, 69, 70 after 70 strokes. Not counting putting, thinking long shots. And so you think about that, and it's like, oh, okay, like they accept when they miss. Professionals miss almost every shot. It doesn't go the way they want. Some get more angry at themselves than others.
You think about like the relationship between that statement and like people who operate businesses too, and people who are entrepreneurs. It's like, well, we just keep grinding and fail faster. Get, you know, and then there was a great quote by, I can't remember who it was, but he said, I quit. The reason I'm so good is because I quit. I quit early and often, because he'll develop a system, develop a process. He'll bring somebody in to run that system and process, and then he'll go do something else. So we quit that to go build something else, but that's still, you know, he's still in charge. He still owns that that business, but
Right.
that's why it's so super successful.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll have to dive in.
Yeah.
Like,
I was gonna try to say, like, one thing I learned that was leading into is, like, the most important shot is the next one, right?
Yeah.
So the pro, when they miss and they get mad at themselves, every single one, most of the time, 99% of the time, they're gonna hit the next shot. They're gonna hit the shot they wanted because they focus on what's next. Even if you fail, focus on what's next. So, yeah,
super important.
Another key to success.
Is there I think that's super interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is there anything that you know, I was excited to have you on because I know that you had a big story, right?
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
was like, man, I want to connect, make sure we connect and share it, and then give folks the opportunity because maybe they're going to hear something and they're going to be like, oh, I want to reach out to him or I want to know more about his consulting firm. Or
Right.
da, 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 da. And I think that's kind of a fun way because we don't necessarily do a lot of that. Is there something that we didn't touch on that that you were hoping to talk about or you know, that you wish I would have asked, or is there anything?
Yeah, I was pretty much an open book there.
Yeah.
Not sure.
Post show, you're gonna think of like, oh man, we could have talked about this because so we'll have to do it again.
No, I mean, the sabbatical that I'm trying to take.
Oh yeah, okay.
So this is pretty. I've been talking about doing this thing for years now.
Yeah.
Probably 2 years ago, my partner, my business friend, he came to me, and so, but him and I, we grew up together basically. And we met in middle school, and we were both in orchestra.
Yeah.
I played cello, and he played violin. And anyways, after high school, he moved in to my mom's place and rented a room, and we were both working at the same. Both worked at Papa John's. We both decided to start a landscaping company together, and we were best friends. We've stayed best friends, and it's pretty rare to find a friend like that.
Yeah.
You know, like, I've had plenty of best friends throughout my life, but he's always the one that's like, you know, he's my guy. You know, he's my person, as they say in Grey's Anatomy. So he comes to me and goes, hey man, do you want to hop on motorcycles and drive from Seattle, like, as far south as we can go? Like,
oh wow,
like Patagonia, as far south as we can go, you know? And I'm like, absolutely.
Yes.
He's
yes,
like,
I do.
He's like, I'll pay for the motorcycle, you know, and I'll cover the expenses, you know, like, just pay what you can. I'm like, yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, how many people have that kind of opportunity?
Right.
First of all, like, to have the heart to want to go and do something like that. Second of all, to have a friend that also has the same heart.
Right.
Third of all, to have a friend that has resources to kind of get you there. Yep. And, like, he can't do it without me.
Yeah.
You know, and I can't do it without him. And so it's like, perfect. Let's go. And so I want to do that. I'm going to try to see if I can find a volunteer opportunity while I'm down there.
Oh, sweet.
Maybe with Patagonia.
There's some great stuff.
The conservation project. It'll be a really good sell at work if I can do something financially related, something that FDIC would like support.
Yeah, they have all kinds of schools and volunteer stuff. A friend of mine, another brother, she was down there, I think she was doing some teaching thing. It wasn't like what we know of Patagonia conservation, but it was like right in there. That's awesome.
So yeah, I'm trying to do that. We might sail back. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then while I'm away, like, my goal is to just kind of reflect on my career, reflect on what I want to do. What does my life look like moving forward? You know, that's why I want to get the real estate before, because I might not come back to my job. I don't know. I might. I'm
pivot,
leaving the door open to leaving. You know, because maybe being away. You know, I think I'll really know when it's Sunday night and I got to go back to work on that Monday.
Yeah.
How am I going to feel? I won't know until I'm there. I won't know until I take the time off. So that's going to be a big piece of. I'm hoping that it's going to be a big piece of, like, who who I become.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah,
Nice.
that.
Well, if any folks do hear this and they're excited to reach out to you, is there like what's the best way for folks to say hello?
Facebook Messenger.
Facebook. Okay.
Or if you want to talk about golf, I have a golf Instagram.
What's your golf Instagram?
It's Journey to Scratch Golf. It's like Journey period 2 with the number 2.
The number 2.
And then I think it's I don't know. You'll
I'll look it up. I'll see if I
Anyways.
we'll see how tech savvy I am. See if I can dump in.
I've tried to make my name cool looking or whatever. I don't know. It's funny because like all my friends like that were initially following me like kind of unfollowed me because they're just like, oh man, I can't stand all this golf stuff. And, like other people are like, oh, it's really cool. Like I noticed you're playing a lot more golf, and I'm like, I'm not playing more golf. I'm just like occasionally whipping my phone out and like
that's the hardest thing.
Taking a
to
shot.
Document. Right.
I'm literally just like letting you see what I'm doing on a daily basis and like why I can't hang out all the time and like and it's been really cool too because like I've met some really cool people from the industry. I've got to interface with a lot of companies and
that's awesome.
Yeah, and then like I'm meeting other people that are doing the same thing. You know, this guy down in Portland I went and worked out with, and he plays for a college down there. He wants to be a pro golfer, and he was doing some personal training.
Okay.
At this like really cool little like golf workshop, like a place dedicated for golfers to work out.
Wow.
Yeah, and like they had like Stroop bands where you run, and I paid him for a personal training session, and that was really cool. It was all through Instagram.
Yeah,
you know, and it's like that. I was totally not a fan of Instagram for the longest time. I was like, oh, what is this social media crap? You know, like I want to like pick up the phone and like talk to me if you want to. But now I'm seeing the value, and I'm seeing that like.
Well, we've transitioned from being a pick up the phone type of community to it's easy to throw out a DM, it's easy to throw out a text, and then you can build relationships that way.
Exactly.
Who knew, right?
Exactly.
Who knew that would be the transition?
So yeah, doing that, and so there's that, and then Facebook Messenger works too.
Okay, awesome. Well, we'll put that in and see if I'm savvy enough to get that done.
Yeah.
And then we'll have to catch up again and see kind of what's what in the future. And I mean, I appreciate you making time for us and coming out, because I know you got a lot of irons in the fire and running around. But
it was kind of good for me because like I haven't really like gone into the 10,000 level view and like thought about all this. You know, I just kind of do.
Yeah.
I just do, and so now it's good. I'll probably go back and listen to this.
Watch yourself and see what you said about.
Yeah. What did I say? Like remind myself of like cool things.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. We appreciate it. So, all right, we're going to sign off and
see you guys.
Hasta luego.